Scabies in my soul. Scabies, scabies in my soul.
So let me go to the telephone lines this morning and say good morning, Lester Sterling.
Good morning, this is Lester.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Sterling. How's everything?
Oh, not bad. You know, I'm still here going on, you know.
Well, you know,
my music and the little problem. All the time, a little sickness, like, you know.
Right. Well, we wish you...
Everything coming good.
We wish you speedy recovery, Mr. Lester Sterling. But this morning, you're going to get a chance, an opportunity to tell your story, the Lester Sterling story, the Skatalites story. And, you know, when I saw you at the Jamaica Independence Ball, I think it was last year, and recognizing the fact that people like Jerry and Cedric M. Brooks and all those legendary great musicians has gone to join the ancestors, and you're still here with us, Lester Sterling. You're still playing music and playing good music. Take us back to the days, Lester, when you joined the Skatalite. What was it like back then? Lester Sterling, a young musician, amongst some more great young musicians. What was it like, Lester Sterling?
Well, it was really joyful to me, happy. But the way the band really started, you know, he was recording for Caxton, and certain songs hit the public, like Tear Up on Bridgeview and so on, you know. So people start to say, we guys should get together and form a band. So Jerry is one of the first men who started saying that, really. And some of the guys never really interested in Jamaican music. They were more wanting to play jazz. So I was looking for a leader of this band now, the Skatalites we're going to form. And Tommy Marcock was there, a good player, but he was interested in jazz. And I find out where he was playing his jazz. And I went there and talked to him, spoke to him. But it was by the Hand, a club where Caxton have the studio now. There was a club right there, the Hand. It was controlled by Noel Tapin, so I heard, footballer. So I went there and talked to Tommy and told him about the band we're going to form.
Right.
And he decided to start playing ska music and so on. You know, so...
Well, let me ask you a question, Lester. Around what year? What year was that? About what time?
Well, as far as I can remember, my age was 27. So when it started, it was 1963.
1963. Anthony, you're talking about what? 50 plus years, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah.
52 years
When
to be
it
exact.
started it.
52 years to be exact. What was music like in Jamaica then, Lester? Because, well, I guess ska was the big thing then. What was it like for young musicians like yourself coming into the music business? What was it like?
It was really like pulling your interest on your instrument. You know, that you get interested in music and that you practice and you want to hear yourself on the record, you know. So it was really encouraging to musicians.
You know,
and a lot of guys wasn't even out there playing at that time. Cedric Brooks wasn't there, you know.
Right.
So when I really started it with Caxton, it was like 1959.
Right.
That's way back.
Right.
And Rico Roderick, it was a good friend.
Yes, and Rico we just lost Rico a few weeks ago.
Yes, I heard. Sorry about that.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
And Rico was living in Almantown, and I was living in Almantown, and Dan Drummond was living there also. You know?
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with one of the original member of the Skatalites band, the legendary Lester Sterling. As a matter of fact, let me just clear this up. Lester Sterling on the band side is the only living member of the Skatalites band. But not to forget that singer Doreen Schaefer, who's actually out in Long Island, used to sing with the Skatalites band. Doreen is still with us, ladies and gentlemen. What we're talking about on the musical instrument side of the band. Now, Lester, you look at where our Jamaican music, you look at the growth of our Jamaican music, and you look at the time when you came into the music. You read music. You not only play music. A lot of our instrumental players, Anthony, they don't read music like the great Monty Alexander. But you have a man like Lester Sterling that reads music. Tell us about that, Lester.
Well, I started my music at Alpha Boys School.
Mm-hmm.
So the first instrument I learned there was trumpet. Learned to play the trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 13-year-old, reaching 13, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned so much in that short time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to study the theory and so on. This is important. And learn the line and space and learn to read the music and so on. So after around 3 years or so, I had to leave school. Never came out of school and start moving around and getting to know the musicians and so on. Because my brother did took me around the musicians when I was younger. So I remember where the musicians used to hang out, which was Princess Street.
Now, who's your brother? Tell us a little about your brother.
Oh, my brother was one of the great alto players named Gladstone Sterling.
Okay.
But he learned music at Alpha also. But he was working in Nassau. That's where he used to work. So it was three of us really play, you know. It was Gaston, Roy, and Lester Sterling.
Right.
That time.
Okay. And that was before you formed the Skatalites?
Oh, long before.
Long before.
We talking the 50s. Coming through there.
Okay, so then Lester, you jump over some of the things, man, because now we're hearing about the 50s, Anthony. You know, what was the 50s like?
Well, I think he played in the military band in Jamaica back in the 50s. You know?
Yeah, but remember, but hold on. Remember now, you know, Anthony, and we don't wanna confuse this. The Jamaica Defense Force did not exist then. It was a British force. I'm going to tell you the name in a minute, what it was called. And Lester, I want you to share a little information about playing in that band long before the Skatalites.
Oh, the Jamaica military band?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was playing reggae music. I was playing ska music before I went in the band. So when I went in the band, I was like 25 years old. But then I really go there to learn to play better, learn my horn and read better and everything like that, you know. But that wasn't where I want to be.
Right.
You see, so what get me out of the band now, I was in the band playing tenor. I was in the tenor stand. In tenor. So I used to go out and play with different bands, you know. So sometimes people carry feelings anyway. After a while, they want to move me from the tenor sax.
Right.
Put me on the trumpet stand, which I never wanted to do.
But you became a very good trumpet player.
Yeah, I was a good trumpet player. Because if I go back now, I was a trumpet player for Luther Williams' band, you know.
Whose band?
Luther Williams.
Okay, Luther Williams' band. Okay.
At Club of Honor.
Calling some names, boy. Breadman. This is history. This is history, ladies and gentlemen, because some of these names, I have no idea who some of these people are, but it's interesting because Mr. Lester Sterling, we can dub you as one of the founding member of music in Jamaica. And Anthony, the name of the military before we got independent, it was British West Indies Regiment. That's what it was called, the British West Indies Regiment. So that's where Lester played music. Continue, Mr. Sterling, because it's interesting, because I want, when it comes to the trumpet side of it, I mean, how was that for Lester Sterling?
Trumpet side?
Yeah, playing the trumpet. And who were some of the people who you blew that trumpet for on record?
Well, recording never started at that time. It was more guys singing more calypso.
Mm-hmm.
It was the calypso time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Flee and Lord Fly and so on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we never really started the ska music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was still there playing, as I said, with Luther Williams. I used to play Copacabana.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play trumpet, you know. I used to play glass bucket.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play Eric Grant on the North Coast, trumpet and so on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people, you know, different bands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you got the name Mr. Versatile. How you came by that name?
Versatile?
Mr. Versatile.
Yeah, because I play different instruments. So my passion really is music. You know, I love music and I study it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because even I am so advanced, but a lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first came to America, I was playing lead alto for the Jazzmobile band in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, we're hearing you, Lester.
I was the lead alto player.
Right.
From Jamaica. That these leaders never even know could read music so good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this fellow named Sonny Reds was looking for a alto player.
Right.
So he came with the music and like 5 saxophonists, you know, there around this different stand playing the music, alto players. And everybody break down. Lester Sterling never did. I read it from the top to the bottom. and same time Sonny Reds come and say, "Hey, where you from, man?" I said, "Man, I'm from Jamaica." He never believed he had such guy in Jamaica playing so good, you know. And then I was in Jamaica. I was a man who loved Charlie Parker playing very much. Charlie Parker that played bebop, you know.
Right.
So I was into Charlie Parker from the days of the Coney Island. Because they used to have his records down there playing in the Coney Island, and I used to say, "Who's this alto player?" And then I got to find out his name was Charlie Parker.
Right.
At that time, I was playing trumpet.
Okay, you know, Lester, as you talk this morning, and I sit here and I listen, and I see Breadman, it's like you're thinking, boy, the music scene back then.
Well, when we usually do these interviews, I usually don't have that many questions because I'm learning right now. I'm the youngest one in the group, so when I hear this, I really want to know the history of the music. And as far as questions, Mr. Sterling, back in those times before the Skatalite band was formed, we had an interview 2 weeks ago with Cornell Campbell, and he was explaining that they went through many different names before they finally called themselves Skatalites. That's when ska took off. What was the atmosphere before ska, the whole ska genre took off?
Well, it was just a feel of you going to different band playing, you know. Nobody never really get a set rate to play the music. Till we create our little songs, and then I was the one playing on the record.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know. I was the one who playing the saxophone and go, behind the singers, instrumental.
Right.
That's how I come with the name Ska Sterling, because I was playing ska.
Oh.
When you look, Lester, when you look at how the Skatalites has evolved, I mean, you are the last standing band member, and I'm gonna play a song that was sung by Miss Doreen Schaefer, and I want you to speak a little about that when Doreen used to sing with the Skatalites. Take a listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Could I have extends for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner?
And you know, Anthony, you could say that Doreen, this is how Doreen actually transitioned from her ska days into reggae music. A beautiful voice, beautiful song. It's called Could I Have This Dance? Lester, Doreen Schaefer sang with the Skatalites.
Yes.
What was it like having a Doreen Schaefer singing with the Skatalites?
Well, Doreen Schaefer, she wanted to sing so much that, I mean, she would really be a good singer, you know, because her interest was there. And she had a good voice, you know. So, but she sing a lot of songs that the public love and did like, you know.
Repeat that?
Huh?
Repeat that. What did you say? She sang a lot of songs
that the public like.
Oh, okay. Yes, it sounds sounding very good.
And when she sing with Jackie Hopel too, that's what one of the songs that you know that should be known. Jackie Hopel.
Now, you were honored by the Jamaican government with the Order of Distinction, and I remember talking to one of Jerry's son, James. Good morning. Hope all is well, my brother. I remember talking with James, and James worked very, very hard for the government, Anthony, to recognize the contribution, for them to recognize the contribution of the Skatalites to Jamaica music. And again, you know, it bleeds my heart to see how, I mean, people have to fight so hard for these people who we know of, Anthony.
Yeah.
And who we know have made their contribution to Jamaica popula's music. And James fought hard. And you remember, Anthony, when we did Caribbean Lifestyle TV and James went down to Jamaica to collect his dad's medal.
Yeah.
It was such a touching moment for him because you could see the tears in his eyebrows, man.
Mr. Sterling, I have another question. I also noticed that it seems like the Alpha Boys School played a very important role in this whole scat era. A lot of artists that came out of that school. And you said that you learned to play trumpet at Alpha Boys. Was that what the direction you wanted to go? Was the school the influence that brought you into music, or did you have that passion before? Did you like certain trumpet players, or did you look up to certain trumpet players?
Not really, because my father was the man who was around musicians, you know. Love music and love musicians. My father told me now he wants me to play music, and he wants my brothers to play music.
Okay.
So when it come into the Christmas time, he used to buy the little toy instrument, you know. They could play drum, they could play trumpet, they could play saxophone.
Okay.
And he gave the three of us, you know. So the influence come from my father. Always. And a matter of fact, I was small, but I remember he used to go to the Coney Island. You know, you heard about the Coney Island back then, right? The musicians played.
Not the Coney Island in Brooklyn we're talking.
Clear it up for me.
Island. And the first time he took me to the Coney Island, the band was playing. And all of a sudden I just start dance. You know, like, this is something you love. And he just started to take me to the street. They took us to the corner island, and I just started dancing with the musicians and like crazy.
It touched you.
It's like something coming to me to tell me I'm going to be a musician or something.
Wow.
So, like, how much money you used to work back in them days? You do a session or you play at a concert?
Say that again?
How much money you guys used to make?
Skatalites?
Yeah. Well, you as an artist or even the group?
How much money we used to make?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when you record, man, some people pay good and some don't. But what you were getting really wasn't really worth it, because it's a disgrace to see a man like me make songs that reach number one.
Yes.
Hit songs, because sometimes I use up the pop phrase, like, not the jazz phrase, and I go, that's the quality thing. And I frightened. I never knew that song would reach number one. And I mean, have the crowd swinging.
Right.
And I never really get paid for that. And it was number one, and they used to use it as a commercial behind. It was Guinness Stout.
Copyright, man. Copyright, it's called, Lester, because at the end of the day, because I think, Anthony, there's a lot of people and a lot of companies that tend to use our musicians back then because they didn't know any better, and they didn't know the copyright process, and that is why up until today the Skatalites has not been given their just due. And Lester, when we come back after the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to continue this conversation. But Anthony, you must remember our good friend Cedric M. Brooks.
Yep.
And when Cedric them used to play Satamasa Ghana, I tell you, boy. Yeah, man. Now, Lester, when you hear a rhythm like Satamasa Ghana, and you look at the talent that came out of Alpha Boy School, BREADMAN, let me answer the question for Lester for you. Alpha Boy School is the foundation, and when I say the foundation, and the foundation is so solid at Alpha Boy School. When you look at the products that came out of Alpha Boy School, you realize why Jamaica popular music is so great. A lot of our great musicians came out of Alpha Boy School. When you talk to a person like a Dean Fraser, who will tell you Dean Fraser would not be Dean Fraser without Cedric M. Brooks. When you talk to a Derek Barnett, one of the greatest and roughest bass player to come out of Jamaica, bar none, Derek will tell you that because of a Cedric M. Brooks. That's why he is the way he is today. A Courtney Panton. And the list goes on, BREADMAN. This was the foundation of our music. And Lester Sterling, brothers and sisters, is a part of that solid, well-built foundation. And they deserve the credit, Anthony. And that is why at Lester's age, I'm not even going to ask him his age, but at Lester's age, Anthony, we're able to have a conversation with him this morning. People who have not heard of Lester Sterling, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is your introduction to one of the founding members of our music. And we must respect what they have done. We must give them their just due, Anthony. And it's a shame on the Jamaican government. I'll say it again, no apologies. It's a shame on the Jamaican government that it took them so long to recognize the Skatalites. It's a shame. They've given people honors, Anthony. And I'm angry about this because some people who you see walk around with OD and OJ don't deserve it. They have done nothing for Jamaica to deserve those honors. And you have people like the Skatalites and Lester Sterling still today talking about how he wasn't properly compensated for his music. It make me angry. Don't know how it make you feel, Anthony, but it makes me angry.
Yeah, man. I mean, Lester Sterling and all the other greats. The music was really built on their backs, and it's because of their sacrifice and contribution that we're here having the opportunity to play music and entertain people.
Lester, I want you to stay where you are. We're going to take a short break. We're going up to the top of the hour, and I'm going to lead them out again with Satamasa Ghana by my good friend Cedric M. Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're featuring one of the founding members of our music this morning, Lester Sterling. Lester Sterling. Rest in peace, Cedric. Gone but not forgotten, my brother. Lester is still with us. Yeah, man.
Bread man, make myself your life is not a dead man.